Yo! I'm tired of all these lame-ass rappers who only have a catchy chorus and they can't rap worth dicks. I'm gonna teach you guys a lesson. I'll go hard the entire song. I'll show you pussies how it's done. Let's go. I go hard on this beat like I'm from the street. I go hard on this beat like a dog in heat. I go hard on this beat like fresh concrete. I go hard on this beat like an ejection seat. I grew up in the ghetto, so I'm allowed to be a gangster. I don't do drugs, but I pretend I do, cause I am a gangster. Got so many friends in my phone, cause I'm so cool. I've got so much class, that's why I dropped out of school. I'm tired of these haters saying I don't got rhymes. The game hasn't been the same since I came in it like a vagina. You all are just a bunch of whiners. And I don't know what else to say. Do I wait for the beat to come back? I go hard on this beat like an alarm clock. I go hard on this beat like electric shock. I go hard on this beat like a loaded Glock. I go hard on this beat like an igneous rock. Cause I'm all like boom, shakalaka, laka, 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 boom, boom, shakalaka, laka, 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 boom, boom, shakalaka, laka, 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 boom, boom, shakalaka, laka, 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 laka. I've got so much game that I can't keep the score. I'm like Steve Jobs, but with dance on the dance floor. I'm so good in bed, I make girls shake to their core. I've got so much swag, I opened up a swag store. 1 rhyme, 2 rhyme, 3 rhymes, 4. I break down the haters like they is a closed door. Then I pay for all the dinners because I'm not poor. And I've got so much money because, shit, I already said that. I go hard on this beat like a candy cane. I go hard on this beat like an ad campaign. I go hard on this beat like a derailed train. I go hard on this beat like I'm on cocaine. Cause I'm all like boom, shakalaka, laka, 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 boom, boom, shakalaka, laka, 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 boom, boom, shakalaka. Yo, I'm gonna kill everybody with my verse right here. I'm gonna go so fucking hard. Here I go. You guys, you rappers going around saying you misunderstood, shut the hell up. I'll hit you with my car and give you the taste of a real hood. Cause I'm shit. Did you hear what I just said? Oh my god. I killed it. I killed it so good. I go, huh. Oh wait, no, not yet. Yo, could you turn up the tambourine track? Let me redo it. Let me redo it. I can't hear the tambourine. Oh wait, no, I got it. We're good. We're good. A. Mic check, mic check. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. I go hard on this beat. Hard on this beat. I go hard on this beat. Hard on this beat. I go hard on this beat. Hard on this beat. I go hard on this beat. Hard on this beat. I go hard on this beat like a falling tree. I go hard on this beat like a pissed off bee. I go hard on this beat like hepatitis C. I go hard on this beat like the SAT. Here I go with the boom, shakalaka, laka, 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 boom, boom, shakalaka, laka, 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 boom, boom, shakalaka, laka, 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 boom, boom, shakalaka, laka, laka. I have no idea if this is actually working or not. Is it? My voice is so quiet. It's like a little baby voice on the monitor. That's okay. Just turn your frickin' volumes up, guys, I guess. I have not done this in quite some time, so I have no idea what I'm doing. If you're currently watching on YouTube or what the hell is it called? It's not Twitter anymore for streaming. Periscope or anywhere, I guess just type in the chats on there or tweet and we'll get this rolling. I don't know if my little chat program is working or not, which is fine. Anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to do this, see if it works. Let me check my thing. I was like, oh, this will be easy until I started doing it. Then I'm like, oh man, I have not done this in some time. Here I am. Ignore all the crap on the side of me here. I'm throwing a bunch of stuff out. For those who don't know, I like to keep boxes, not because I'm a hoarder, because when I order stuff, there is a warranty that's usually up after like a year or so. So I keep all the boxes because if you try and return stuff without the boxes, it just gets crazy and it's stupid. So I'm in the process of throwing a bunch of stuff out. The only thing is there's only like certain times around here where you can recycle because this apartment complex is weird. So that's where that's at. I have absolutely no idea if I am still able to upload to SoundCloud, which is where this podcast is, I guess. This is number 70 according to my records that I choose to keep. Let's see if I could even sign in. Yeah, that's the password. Which is weird. I have not uploaded a podcast in over a year, and we've still been getting about 24 plays a day on it, which is strange. So we're gonna... Geez, when was this done? I don't even remember when this was done. It says 1 year, but I feel like it's over a year. Let's see, can I edit track? If it'll tell me when it was uploaded. Nope. 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 Could probably just check my computer. Why am I complicating things? It's been a year, but let's see, because now I'm committed. So I keep all my podcasts over here. Don't mind me, I'm just talking to myself. So, podcast, that one. Episode, this was created January of 2017. So it's been pretty much a year and a half since I did one of these. So that's cool. It's exciting. And I believe I am on the Late Night Web Show YouTube, Late Night Web Show Twitter, and I don't think we're on Facebook just because I need a break from Facebook. I do. So, good stuff. I was going to stream from the venue today, but I just didn't feel like it. It's really long story short of everything that happens here. See, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on because in Logic, where I'm recording this podcast, the levels are pretty great. I think it's probably because I have a limiter on it or something, but I could turn... Nope, let's not turn the gain up. I feel like I should have learned my lesson by now by doing this crap. All right, so let's go back to... I don't even know where the hell I am. You would think I would rehearse this. If you're listening to this on SoundCloud after the fact, I apologize. So if I haven't done a podcast since January of 2017, really? So that was, okay. So that was since way before the Late Night Web Show launched. So that's cool. So if you only tuned into my podcast and you just kind of forgot about it and saw, oh, hey, there's a new podcast, let me listen to it. Here's what's been going on. I launched a new show, July of 2017, so a year ago. It'll be a year this week? Is it this week? I have no idea. Oh boy. That might change the whole show. I mean, it was on July 22nd. So this week's the 20th, the next week's the 27th. That's interesting, because my birthday is the 26th, obviously. So either this Friday or next Friday, we have to have a party for the Late Night Web Show. So that's cool. I'm excited. It's very exciting. So anyways, that's what I've been doing for the past year or so. We did 8 little test episodes. I took a break from November to March, and we've been back sporadically since the end of March. And it's been fun, and hopefully if things go the way they're supposed to, we'll be doing them every week and maybe jumping up to twice a week. So if you're also listening to only the podcast and you have not heard from me since then, I got engaged in November of 2017, so that was fun and interesting. And there's a wedding this year. It's not really going to say when because people like to ruin things. So... We're not doing that whole thing here on this podcast. After the fact, obviously. My silly little chat program is telling me it needs to update, but it's on the web, so I can't update it. Because the people that made it. All right, at least I could see the YouTubes. Patrick says, yo, congrats. Thank you. Thanks. It's been a while, so I feel like people know that, but then I also feel like people don't know that just because just because of life. People still don't realize I quit Friday Night Cranks 2 years ago. So, yeah. And if you're wondering, I mean, I have not been tweeting or Instagramming or Facebooking or any of that social media crap recently. And it's just because there's a lot going on. Personally, everything I just said, obviously. And at the venue, there's just stuff going on there every day. And then also trying to make this show happen. So, it's been fun. What's up, Zytro or Justin? I feel like even though I've been doing the shows that I don't actually like get to sit and talk during the shows, because during Friday Night Cranks it would piss people off, and during a late night web show there is literally no time. So 5 Keeper 7 Full says, did the FNC store still work? I don't think so. I have not gotten any orders, so I don't think so. So, but I'm making a new store for the late night web show, which will be up soon. Maybe I'll knock that out this week. Oh, Jesus. I have a candle over here. Oh, boy. And that was lighting something that would have caught fire eventually, so that's going to hang over here. Whew. That was a little weird. Could have ended badly. But that's all right. I feel like, I mean, even if I have it this far away, it's still hard to hear. So I will put my mouth against this. Now I know how the voice actors on the show feel. They probably have to put their faces against these friggin' pop filters. Anyways, I'm glad nothing just got caught on fire. My smoke alarms do work. I tested that the other day because I was cooking and left the stove on and it just created a whole bunch of smoke, and I was hungry and I didn't really give a shit, honestly. I was just like, it's smoking, who cares? And then the fire alarms started going off, smoke detectors. They were beeping and it was annoying, and I was like, you know what, I'll get up, open some windows. It just wasn't fun. I don't know. I like cooking, but just when it's time to eat, it's time to eat, and I don't feel like really turning anything off. And I guess that's my fault because I could have died, but no. I feel like if you die in a fire while you were cooking, you kind of deserve it. That's just my honest opinion. I mean, I get if you're sleeping and everything catches on fire, so you wake up and you'll know what's going on. I respect that death, but if you're cooking and your kitchen catches on fire and then you still somehow die, I feel like you kind of deserve it. So, and I have a fire extinguisher, and you're probably excited, like, good, it's a good thing you have a fire extinguisher. But the bad thing is it's in a box and it's in the spare bedroom in like the dresser drawer for some reason. So I need to fix that because that's also very dangerous. Oh, the description of last week's or last show is on YouTube. My bad, people. Patrick on YouTube says, Halo Reach, a bowl of pasta, and Friday Night Cranks house to you how I used to roll every Friday back in the day. Halo Reach. That is forever ago. Halo Reach release date. Let's see what year that was. That was 2010. It was 8 years ago. God. I've been doing this shit for way too long. Way too long, people. All right, so the chat seems to be kind of working a little bit. 5 Keeper 7 Full again says, it's been a few weeks since the last FNC prank was uploaded. Yeah, that needs to be fixed. I had a bunch queued up, ready to go, and I don't know what happened to them. So I kind of have to redo all of them, which sucks. But it's fine. I honestly don't know what happened to them. I don't know. I don't know. I just put them somewhere, wasn't paying attention where I put them on my computer. Have tried searching, have tried sorting by creation date, nothing. So it's got to redo them. No big deal. So yeah, probably on Friday. Justin says I only played Halo 3. I had some neighbors when I lived in New York that played Halo, and I don't know what Halo game it was, but it was around the time Mercenaries Playground of Destruction came out for whatever system that was, because that's all they used to play. They were obsessed with war and being in the army, and then one of them, I think, is now actually in the army. So that's kind of cool. Mercenaries Playground of Destruction. It was a while ago. And I used to go over there, and I think I don't know, I used to like spend the night there. Oh crap, I just deleted everything. That came out 2005. Ugh, for the PS2. God. I feel so old. Crazy stuff. The Where is Jared prank call is one of my favorite of your prank calls. So funny. Yeah, it is funny. You have to understand, I've like listened to that stuff so many times. I'm just like emotionally numb to these calls now. Anyways. Do I play Fortnite? Not really. I've been trying to play it for like a video that I want to shoot for like an upcoming segment on the show. And I get I suck because I'm new at it. But I'm just terrible. I'm just terrible. Somebody says, remember the Hard Rock Park in Myrtle Beach? Yes, actually. It's a funny story. The venue where we do the show is actually across the street from where the Hard Rock Park was. It's in an old abandoned mall. And the reason why it's abandoned, because it used to be like this hopping mall way back in the day. Way back when, I guess we were kids. I was a kid, but I was never here because I didn't live here. So then they shut it down when this Hard Rock Park was being built, and they were originally going to demolish the whole mall and make it into like an outdoor mall type of area. At Myrtle Beach, we have like Broadway at the Beach and Market Common. So they're going to make one of those, kind of like a Disney Springs or Downtown Disney, whatever the hell you want to call it, type of area for Myrtle Beach. And then the Hard Rock Park, the people who owned it, they lost the name because they were licensing it from the Hard Rock Cafe people, and they were like, nah, you can't use it. So then they renamed it to Freestyle Park. Hundreds of millions of dollars later, the park goes under. It is now abandoned. They now took all of the roller coasters to like Japan and China, which seems like a lot of work. I guess you would get like 1 or 2 pieces per boat and just ship them over piece by piece by piece by piece and then rebuild them there. Why not just make the whole new freaking roller coaster? But whatever. So then they decided to open the mall back up and start renting some spaces out, which we're in one of those spaces now. So it kind of all worked out, even though I really enjoyed the park the one time I went. It was fun. But I guess it all worked out in the end. So it's just weird. So yes, whoever asked the question, I do remember that. I do. Very much. Justin, you're obsessed with Fortnite. Who else is obsessed with Fortnite? I've tried. I've tried on my phone, and my phone doesn't really do things well. Just like my grammar, I guess. And on the computer, I don't know. I just suck. I get killed right away, so I can't really... Or, oh no, well, I either get killed or I kill myself right away. So I'm really trying to understand the game and how to play it. But I'm just not. Just not getting it. I mean, I guess... I don't know. I think I need to watch a small child play it. One of my future nephews. I assume one of them has to be into it. So I'll just ask one of them. Jared, how many copies of your book did you sell? Oh boy. The last time I checked, which hasn't been recently, let's see, I ordered 1,200 books, physical books, and I'm down to like 200. So between giving away and whatever. Oh geez, I almost called somebody that I have not spoken to in years. That would have been weird. And then you have the digital books, the ebooks. I haven't totaled it all up. So, a lot. Enough to where I will be working on a second one at some point soon. Probably by the end of this year, I'll start working on it, which means probably by the end of 2019. If everything goes according to plan, because there's literally enough material for a whole new book based, because the second book is going to be just about jobs I've worked, whether it be when I was in high school, which kind of was covered in the book, like when I worked at the library or whatever, up until very recently, like just freelancing and side gigs. There's just so much crap. Like I've been kind of keeping a rough outline, which I need to kind of format it how I did the first one. There's enough for a whole freaking book in there. Just right now, there needs to be some sort of conclusion. Like once the show kind of starts going, then that's when I'll start writing it. Michaela on Fire says, I still have my book. I've read it like 5 times. Thank you, Michaela. I'm glad. There have been people recently that have read it but have never watched the show or anything. So that's been cool to kind of get their feedback. They're like, oh, hey, I just kind of found this. And I'm like, that's pretty badass. So that's always fun. Do I get mad when people bring up Friday Night Cranks? No. Unless I'm like, no, there's really no time to get mad. It's crazy that it's reached that many people. And like, I know I kind of give, oh Jesus, I'm breaking this. I kind of give people crap for like, when I'm like, oh, well, I quit doing the show a few years ago, blah, blah, blah. But it's just crazy to me that it's reached that many people that we kind of have to explain to people over the course of years. It's weird. It's just weird, but I like it. And at the same time, it's just very strange. It sounds so dumb, but I'm just so used to it, whatever this is, just like doing it and whatever. Oh, I think he means, do you get irritated that is what most people talk / know about instead of your other works? No, I don't care. Again, I think it's crazy that silly stuff I did when I was 15, it just blew up the way it did. And I just enjoy doing, the music and the book and the podcast and this new show just to do creative stuff. And that's kind of what happened with Friday Night Cranks. So I'm hoping over the years that this new show kind of picks up and we find our own direction with it and that it turns into something, I don't want to say just as big or bigger, but into its own thing. Because especially with this new show now, there are way too many people involved than just me. So it's just been cool. So I'd like to think that people who have watched Friday Night Cranks for years will like this new stuff, because like I tell people all the time, even if you don't, there's still 9.5 years worth of videos on YouTube, and those are going to stay, even though a few people have offered to buy the channel or like help me convert it into the new show, and I'm just like, no. We're not doing any of that. We're just leaving it the way it is, even if it's not getting a lot of views. I mean, it's still getting kind of a stupid amount of views for a channel that is kind of dead. So yeah, it's cool. It's very weird. It's very, very weird. I hate watching myself and listening to myself, so I don't... I'll go back sometimes and watch some videos if a specific situation comes up or somebody says something, I would go back and watch it. Or if I'm showing somebody and somebody's like, oh, you should have called Disney or something, and then I'll be like, oh, I did, and here's what we did, whatever. So, and now that I'm working on these older videos, kind of going back and watching the shows and stuff is weird. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's listening to my voice. Ugh, it's weird. Especially my pre-puberty voice, my PPV. You think most people hate their voice or watching themselves? I know people personally that love watching themselves, and it's weird to watch them. To each their own. Yeah, I'm just one extreme where I will literally edit videos with it on mute and just go by just how everything looks and then kind of skim through stuff, which is why with some of the editing there's like some mistakes or something sounds weird and somebody's like, oh, the audio was down for 10 seconds. I just wasn't paying attention. So I'm that one extreme where I just cannot stand it. Other people's stuff is fine, which is why it takes me so long to do music, because I do hundreds of takes of the same part, and I just cannot deal with it. Like 40 takes in. What the hell was that? What is that noise? Oh, there we go. It's my, you guys didn't hear that. So yeah, there are people that I know personally that love watching themselves. They will just sit there and stare at themselves and have like speakers blaring with their voice, and it's strange to me. And I've tried to talk to this person about it because we're kind of like separate extremes, because I mean, not that one's worse than the other. Michaela on Fire says, I love the mom that has a meltdown over Bobby. It's the one that I show my friends all the time to this day. That is a good one. I'm pretty sure I talked about it in the book. I don't even remember. But she's dead now, which is sad as hell. And I think I commented on it on that video. But yeah, that was like, I don't even know what happened, but the kid emailed me like a few years later and just wanted me to put that on the video. He wanted me to leave the video up, but he wanted me to just put like a little disclaimer in the video so people wouldn't be as harsh towards her, which I totally understand because people say some off-the-wall crap. So I feel bad for him. He had to go and read YouTube comments because I don't read YouTube. I read YouTube comments, but I don't read them the way maybe I should. I just kind of skim through. I don't sit there and read all of them. So it's been very interesting. But anyways, enough about me and my crap. What are you guys doing? What have you guys been up to? Do I know how she died? I don't, sadly. He emailed me and I don't feel like pulling up the email. It was years ago. I don't even know if I could find it. Is it this? No. Yeah, but I just know she's passed on, which is sad. Is it this it? No. I'll find it, just not tonight. I don't feel like going through all my emails right now. So, all of my emails go, whether it be for Friday Night Cranks or like other stuff, they all like forward to one email account that no one really knows what it is. So all of my emails just get forwarded to there. So even just searching that pulls up every email somebody's mentioned, including when we used to do contests and be like, what's your favorite call? So there's just too much to go through right now. Hello, Kevin O. Casino. Uncle Jared's back. Please don't call me that. That's weird. You're going to Disney World and more in September. That's cool. That's awesome. That is awesome. What does and more mean? Are you going to like Universal or whatever? You've been doing a lot of gaming work, finishing university, and now work for a gaming company. That's cool. What does your job at the gaming company consist of? Because I'm just going to assume you are a programmer or you're a designer, but I feel like there are hundreds of other jobs at a gaming company, so I'm just not going to assume. So why don't you tell me a little more about what you do at that company? You don't have to say who it is or anything, because, like I said, people are a little crazy. And then we're already 25 minutes in. I've missed doing these. I just need to, I don't know. I tweeted about it the other. I just need to like get more inspired with shit. I don't know what it is. I think it's just during the day I do a lot of crap. So there's like no time to like sit and get, I don't even know. There's a lot of stuff going on. Anyways, you do 3D modeling, so you create objects for games. That's interesting. I like that. It's very cool. So I know you said you went to school for it, I guess. So that's, yeah, you finished university. Cool. You're going to become a Grubhub driver. What the hell is that? I mean, I've heard of Grubhub, but I don't even know what it is. Is it like a, okay, I gotcha. They just launched Uber Eats in Myrtle Beach last Friday. So had a little staff meeting with the crew, or tried to. but only the puppets showed up, so that was fun. And then after that, Teresa and I got, what the hell was it? It was Uber Eats from this place, Art Burger and Sushi in Myrtle Beach. If you are ever in Myrtle Beach and you like burgers and sushi, or one or the other, go to Art Burger and Sushi because it's amazing. It's a little pricey-ish, but it's amazing. And by pricey-ish, I mean like, I don't even know, like $12 for a burger or $9 to $16 for a roll of sushi. Kathleen works for a nonprofit while going to school full-time. That's awesome. All of these cool jobs, only Jag says, and I work in a dairy department. That's cool too. That's different. I've never known anybody that I know of that works in a freaking dairy department. That's cool. So I'm just going to assume, before I don't assume, that you just kind of organize all the dairy, cut some cheese, play with some goats. I'm just kidding. They don't bring this in the store. Did you keep or delete all of the prank call ideas you've gotten from everyone? Like in case you ever have a sudden, I want to do a special one-off prank call or something. Now I have all of them, all like 500,000 plus ideas. And those don't count the ones that were sent in multiple times, because a script would just delete all of them. So if you sent in an idea multiple times, it would delete all of the ideas, because that was the rule, to prevent spamming. And then people were trying to get creative and trying to word it different ways or whatever, but whatever. And they're all separated into 3 folders. Pretty much one folder is no. Another folder was ones that were considered for the show, broken up by date. And then the third folder are the ones that were actually made. So if somebody was like, oh, you called Verizon that one time and said, I don't even know what the hell we did, just something random, like you had a chicken, I could search there and see, oh, maybe somebody sent that idea in, or did we just kind of wing that and see when it happened and go from there. The most requested idea was just so stupid, and just so, I guess not stupid, it was just boring. It was to call, it had changed over the years, but when we first started, it was about Justin Bieber. It was to call somebody's friend and say you're Justin Bieber's manager or agent or booking whatever, and that they just won tickets to see Justin Bieber. And I was like, no. And then over the years, it turned into like One Direction and whatever. So that was annoying. Have you been a guest on any podcasts? Yes, I did one like a month ago. I don't think they posted it. It was called like The Breakfast. Oh boy. The Breakfast. It was something with breakfast or early morning. I don't know. It was a podcast that I did over Skype, which was fun. I mean, it was just pretty much like a, let's talk about Friday Night Cranks for an hour. I don't think they realized that we weren't doing it anymore. So a lot of the questions were like, and then we got, I don't know. It was cool. It was fun. What the hell was it called? Breakfast? No. I don't even know. I followed them. So, acknowledge me. Jared Sadface is Jables fan. Okay. Now what? Now I acknowledged you. Now what do we do? Oh, it's called the Dinner Time Podcast. Dinner Time Discussion Podcast. I don't even know. Like their last tweet was from June saying Jared's going to be on it. Check it out. Maybe they're just behind on stuff, or maybe they, I don't know. Will you ever go on Critical's podcast? I have no idea what that is, but sure, I guess, if they asked. I also shot a commentary track with Eric Striffler for his Pretty Much It thing channel, because he was a guest on Late Night Web Show, and then I think the next day we recorded a commentary track. We sat down, watched a movie together, we made fun of it, we talked a bunch of shit, and I think that's going up soon, because he just sent me an email with some forms I need to sign, I guess, so he can use my voice, because he's trying to do everything Legitly. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You could use nudes of me and I wouldn't give a shit. Is Stu gonna be on the Late Night Web Show? I mean, he was a guest through Skype. If he ever comes down here, he needs to see with the schedule if he can come down for the wedding or not. But even if he comes down for the wedding, there may not be time to do a show, just depending on how things work out, because that week is going to be crazy. Oh, well. I've never heard of Critical's podcast. I feel like Critical's podcast. There we go. I have no idea what that is. Here's one. It's a stream. Okay. Looks like they play games while they're on a podcast. Do I have to... If I was on there, would I have to play? Because I'd fucking suck. Only Jags, just tune in. You're getting married? Yes. Soon. That's all I can say. I proposed in November of last year. Do you have a Nintendo Switch? No, I don't. And it's weird. I travel, but I drive a lot more than I used to. I'm not really here. I'm pretty much at this apartment to sleep. So there's really no time then. And then when I travel, it's mostly driving. I don't think I've been on a plane in close to a year. Jeez. That's nuts. So, because I know the Nintendo Switch is, you can like take it with you and it's portable and it looks so cool, but I just don't. I just don't. Ugh. Oh well. I wish I had time. God, maybe once everything. Oh wait, are you guys? Oh, so that's cool. So in the YouTube chat, you guys can see what people are saying on Periscope. That's interesting. I didn't even know that was happening. That's funny. I didn't even know that was happening. No. You're asking if I'm gay? No. Marrying a woman? Plot twist, I guess, for for a sub. They don't talk about games, just talking about random things. The one question I ask everyone is how much they masturbate. It's pretty good. Okay. Well, now that you gave me a heads up, I will be ready with that answer. So that's cool. Where this got so derailed. Sum up your San Diego era in 3 words. Great learning experience. It was a great learning experience. Like, I still learn from that experience, like today, which is weird since that was close to 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Oh, cool. Teresa and Charlie are flirting with each other in the chat room. Cool. Just what I like to see. It's my fiance and best friend, who is also a woman, arguing over who's going to marry said fiance. Oh well. Maybe I'm not getting married, guys. Maybe I'm showing up to their wedding and just not realizing it. That's fine. I mean, there's nothing I can do. Alright, anyways. Jables fan and Zach are flirting too. Alright, so much bromances, and what the hell's what's a girl version of a bromance? Let's Google that. Bromance girl version. I literally Google anything. A womance? No, we're not calling it that. That is silly. A womance? No. Nope. Why? Womance. I don't like that. We need a cooler name for that. Anyways. Zach said they only told you it's your wedding, so you had to get a tux. Yeah, pretty much. Got my tux yesterday, so... Oh well. As long as she's happy. A chick flick? I like that. I like a homance. No, we're not. No. Whenever somebody says, "Are you stupid?" or something along those lines, I always say, "No, I'm just openly gay. It's become a part of my life." Well, I'm glad being openly gay has been a part of your life. That's good. I'm glad. You guys need to calm the F down in this chat. It's ridiculous. Anyways. Only Jag says, how could I view other people's comments? Well, I don't know what it's like on Periscope, Only Jags, but on YouTube, a little robot is like sending the Periscope comments into YouTube, which is cool. I don't know if it's doing the same on Periscope. I'll check it out. Let's see. I don't even know how to chat on here. There we go. No, well, I don't know. Nobody's really posted anything yet, I don't think. Oh well. No, I guess you can't. I guess it doesn't work with Periscope. That's fine. It's sad, but it's also fine. Why is my computer acting like we're in a spaceship? Zach said our birthdays are coming up. Yes, Charlie just had a birthday. She'll be getting her present from me and her future wife soon. And my birthday is a week from Thursday. Woo! I will be, what day am I getting married? Zach, I'm not going to publicly post that shit. What are you, stupid? No, I'm just kidding. You were on my list, though, so don't you worry. Invitations have not gone out yet. Charlie, I need to also speak to you about invitations. Not now, but when you're done flirting all over Teresa's face, you can maybe tomorrow we'll talk, because I finished the invitations. So that's exciting. There we go. I'm surprised this thing has not crashed. Oh, cool comment from Charlie. I wanted to call you today, but guess what, Charlie? You didn't. You did not. And you spent the whole day dealing with your BCBs? That was that. What is it, BCBs? Oh. According to Google. Doesn't even matter. Oh, Blue Cross Blue Shield. They are a bunch of assholes. I don't even know what the hell they did to me. They did do something. I just know I spend way too much time on the phone with them. That one left says, hey, thanks for following me on Twitter. You're welcome. I saw on your thing that you were making like a Friday Night Cranks video, so I followed you that way. I know when you post it. And you seemed like a cool dude, so. Do you have an Xbox or a PlayStation? I do. I have an Xbox 360, but I don't use it anymore. I don't play video games, sadly. I'll play some games on my phone once in a while, but when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, though, I will buy a PS4 or something, or whatever the hell it's going to be on. But we got time. We got time. Literally every health insurance is hoping you die. Yeah, and I don't know, like, what... It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, you pay a deposit every month, or fucking whatever it's called. You pay that every month, and then you still gotta pay money when you get sick. Like, what the hell's the point of any of this? And I'm not getting into this. We're not gonna do all of my theories on crap. But they're all making money from each other. Hospital bills are so high, that way you have insurance, and if you can't afford it, then you're screwed. But then if you have insurance, costs are so high that the insurance people get reimbursed, so that way they charge you a higher deductible, you have higher payment plans, everybody wins except us. So that's how I feel about it. Oh well. Weird. Oh, is this boring you, Teresa? Is the real world too boring for you? You could just continue to hit on Charlie and pretend I'm not here if this is boring you. Why is the chat so sexual and how can I join in? Well, you kind of have to find somebody willing. And you also have to be joking, kind of, but then you also have to be completely serious. That's how all this works. I don't even know. You're going to Disney World in January for the first time in a decade, and you're going to cry. Zach, it's amazing. If you're going to listen to me, here's what I recommend. I don't know. I don't really know your interests. Oh, God, Charlie, why are you even mentioning that? Where, if you're going to Disney World, if you like extreme stuff, you have to do, obviously, Tower, Rock and Roller Coaster. I would say Mission Space, but Mission Space is probably one of the only rides I will not do at Disney World because I had a terrible experience with it, but that's okay. Soarin' is fun. If you care about restaurants, you have to go to Be Our Guest, but getting a reservation is impossible, so you have to, I think when it's 6 months out, you have to book it like the morning of that you're allowed to. I was late by like 10 minutes and we could not book it. And then I think it was like a few days later, Teresa randomly checked and there was a space open. So Expedition Everest, that's an okay ride. I wouldn't say you like need to do it, but I wouldn't say it's a necessity. But hey, if you haven't done it, then why not? Oh, you're 6 months out? Yeah, I would figure that out like now if you can get, and then check like every day for Be Our Guest reservations. According to the people who go all the time, lunch is better than dinner, allegedly, but they're revamping the menu in like a week. So who knows? And what else should you do in Disney World? I have no idea. Test Track? Well, Test Track, when they originally did Test Track, the whole concept was you were a test dummy, and that was awesome. And then, since it wasn't an actual, it wasn't built into an actual Disney film, they switched up the whole ride, and now it's all Tron, and it's weird. You have to like go into this room, you build your car, it makes no sense. Like the whole thing, you're a crash test dummy. All that made sense. So, I just hate when they do crap like that. Ugh. You're more of a Universal Studios person. You didn't enjoy Disney as much as I thought it would. Universal Studios, if I'm not mistaken, you could probably do all in a day. Like all the rides and stuff, unless it's way bigger than I thought it was. But I did Universal when I was a kid. But Disney, you kind of have to spend at least 3 or 4 days there, and you have to like get a good experience, even though it's an expensive thing. You have to stay on property. You have to like at least get a basic meal plan, and you have to go to all the parks because you just have to get the full experience, and that's a lot for people to do for an experience. So I could see why Universal is like a lot easier and more fun for people. Plus Universal is Harry Potter Land. So if you, or Harry Potter World or whatever it's called. So if you're into that stuff, I've always wanted to go to that, but just haven't gone yet. Can't wait to see Toy Story Land. Yeah. Yeah. It looks cool. Hopefully I'll get to go soon. Maybe while Charlie and Teresa are getting married, I could drive on down there instead of showing up to their wedding. That'll be a good plan. If anybody wants to join me. So Zach, not to put you on the spot, but are you going with your little, not little, that's weird. Are you going with your adult female girlfriend? I don't, I feel very strange the way I addressed her, but that's okay. Do I ever think about doing vlogs? Yeah, I guess, but yes and no. My life is just so frustrating on a daily basis. It's probably funny to you guys, and I'm sure Teresa laughs once in a while at certain things, but it's just so frustrating on a daily basis. Most of the vlogs, I would just be in a terrible mood. But what I am going to start doing as we get into a better schedule with the show is start shooting videos as we're putting the show together. That way the following week you could see how we put together last week's show, because that experience is hilarious. Just the pre-show of the crew rolling in, I can't even explain it. You have people showing up way early, like an hour and a half than we're supposed to, and then you just have people showing up in costumes from like other jobs. Like it's funny. Just everybody rolling in, and then when I'm going over a script, either, I don't know, we could usually tell before the show if it's going to be a great show or whatever's going on. And they've all been pretty damn good. But on nights when we're doing like the hot sauce challenge and the contestants are showing up and everything's just a shit show, like, it's just fun to watch. So, yeah. It's fun. Zach, please don't joke around about your girlfriend being 13. Please. Because what's going to happen, Zach, people are going to screenshot that shit. You're going to become successful in life, and then they're going to be like, boom, he dated a 13-year-old when he was 30. The podcasts are pretty much like audio-only vlogs, sort of. Pretty much. What I'll probably start doing these more often, so I could just sit down and talk and vent about stuff. And there's obviously more stuff in my day-to-day basis that I'm not talking about because things are going to be saved for the book. And a lot of stories are not currently resolved. So I am in the process. So you think of the Late Night Web Show of a visual version of the podcast. Pretty much that's what it started to be. And each week it's been kind of changing. So I think eventually it's going to be pretty badass. That's how it should be. What do you do when not doing Late Night Web Show? Plan for the Late Night Web Show. There's actually 4 shows now at the venue. There's my show, obviously, or our show. The show you guys watch. It's not my show. It's kind of that thing. There's that. There is the Hypnosis show. There is the Magic show. And now there's a game show. And just dealing with all of those personalities is frustrating and hilarious at the same time, because I don't know. It's just been lots of material. Have I been enjoying the Late Night Web Show? Yes, Michaela, and let me explain. When I first started this show, when we did the first 8 episodes or whatever, Charlie, who are you talking to? Who do you want to do a podcast with? Do you want to do a podcast with me or with Teresa? People do not need to hear you and I just speaking unfiltered, because half of our FaceTime sessions are like, here is the line in terms of jokes, and we're like way over there. Pretty sure we can go to jail for some of the stuff that was said. I don't think jail. But anyways, so the first 8 test episodes of the Late Night Web Show, I had fun doing it, but I was just kind of miserable. I don't know how to explain it. Just like miserable and nervous and in a bad mood. And the crew wasn't ideal. And I guess the positions that we had people in were not where they would have thrived, minus Travis, because he was the camera guy and he was great. So moved some people around, got a bunch of new people in, and kind of found... Because what I originally did, I was like, oh, who wants to be a camera operator? And people would be like, ooh, me. And I'm like, cool, you're on camera. Then somebody's like, hey, I've had experience shooting video. And I'm like, perfect. What could go wrong with that? And with the exception of Travis and Brandon, who's now the technical director, but the other camera people have pissed me off beyond belief, because if the more experience they have, the shittier they are. So the people with the exception of Travis, so the people with no experience have done the best. And the reason why is because I explained to people, once we go live, you do not touch the cameras. Like, you don't touch, I mean, you could touch the focus, I guess, in the zoom, but don't touch the color correction. Don't touch really any of that shit. And show 2 of the relaunch, when we had the really monotone magician that I accidentally did a better trick than him. That was probably the closest to a shit show that we've had, but we've kept it together. But during that show, there was a camera guy who came in and he's like, I've had 40 years of experience. And I'm like, okay, cool. So it's like 7:45. We're going on at 8. He was like, hey, could you show me how to use the tripod? And I'm like, dude, it's on wheels. But sure, I'm going to go to the bathroom, get ready. I'll come back out. Don't touch anything. He's like, okay. So I go to the bathroom, I pee, and every time I go to pee before the show, I'm paranoid because my mic's on, and I feel like I'm going to pull like a Robert Durst, and Brandon in the tech room with the speakers, he's just going to hear me peeing. But it hasn't happened, and if it has happened, he has not said anything. So props to him. But I don't think it's happened, but who the hell knows? Anyways, moving on. So I come back out of the bathroom, and the dude has the tripod in pieces just in the middle of the set. So I was kind of calm. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, it's all about balance. It wasn't balanced correctly. I'm like, yeah, everything was straight. What do you mean it wasn't balanced? And he's like, well, the hell was he saying? He was like, the feel of it wasn't balanced. And this is with the teleprompter and all that stuff. So I'm like, just put it back to how it was. So we do the show. We're doing the show. He was a fucking mess the whole show. Just like zooming around and like pretty much whatever camera he was on, we did not cut to. Like, it was that bad. And if we did cut to him, it was a disaster, because there are rules that we have when we're doing stuff that we try to abide by. Like, when your camera's on, you don't move. So if you're on camera 1 and you hear camera 1's on, you don't move. And then you kind of reset when things are off. But anyways, so I don't know what the hell he was doing, but during the show, he like unscrewed the top of the tripod and the teleprompter fell forward and the iPad that we use as the teleprompter fell face down onto the set and just slammed. So if you're looking at the camera, it just now fell to the floor. The iPad slammed on the ground, and I'm like, this fucking asshole just ruined this $400 iPad. There is a very expensive camera attached to it. Thankfully, everything was fine. And then after the show, he was like, so how'd I do? So I told him how he did. And then he's like, so I'll see you next week? And I'm like, no. And then he was like, so am I going to get paid? And I'm like, well, let's go see if anything's broken, because if something's broken, then no, you're going to buy a new whatever the hell you broke. So thankfully nothing was broken. I paid him for doing a shitty job. Literally a blindfolded bat could have done a better job than this dude. So now we just have Travis. We had another guy, but he's kind of out, so we're going to bring somebody else so Travis has some backup. But just Travis on his own, he's pretty great. But so that was show 2. But anyways, the first 8 test shows we've done, they were good. They just weren't, I don't know. I'm having way more fun doing this stuff now. Like the last 10 episodes we've done have been hilarious. And a lot of it, 99% of it is the crew that we have now. Thankfully. So my mom just saw this video and said he finally hit puberty. I hit puberty decades ago, Zach's mom. Literal decades ago. But thank you for noticing, I guess. I don't even know what the hell goes on here. Is the website up for the book still? Like, to buy it? Or to interact with it? To interact with it, it's not up. It'll probably be up tomorrow. Been making some updates to it. But anyways, so yeah, I've been having a lot more fun doing the last 10 episodes or so. But like I said, it's mostly because of the crew. They come in and they just kind of rock it. They do. Everybody's laughing before the show. We're all going over scripts. We're all coming up with ideas. And then we just rock it. And it's great. Is it hard still being in the beginning stages of Late Night Web Show? It's fun. It's hard in the sense of this is like a brand new machine. So figuring out all of the parts, and it's just been interesting. But yeah, it's been hard because none of us have done this before. So it's been hard getting that flow and figuring out what's going on. And then also, I'm not used to working with other people in a very intense live environment. So that's been something I've had to learn to do, is give direction correctly and not just leave everything up to improv. And when something goes wrong, correct things. And if somebody's pissing me off, tell them. That's just been a very, not live, obviously, but it's been very interesting. So I think just from seeing our first show when we came back to the last show has been a huge difference, and the goal is to keep improving each show. How old are you again? You need to know for the video. Well, by the time your video's up, I'll be 27. So, Michaela on Fire says, the first couple shows you seemed ... I don't want to be mean, but like really nervous and awkward. I mean, compared to how you are on the podcast and stuff. Yes. Charlie says he means he's learning about communication. Yes. It's very hard. But where is we? Oh yeah. Yeah, the first few shows were good. And I had fun doing them, but yes, it was awkward. It was hot. I was very uncomfortable. Literally, as the little theme song's playing, I'm screaming at people because, like, we did not have a very competent crew. And I would say, kind of like what happened with that camera guy, where I would say, hey, don't touch this. And they'd be like, okay. And then like, we're about to go live. Like, hey, Jared, I unplugged the mixer. Like, why the fuck would you do that? And it's funny now, but like, we need to go on, which is why like we didn't have audio. Not because there was a problem, but because the mixer was just unplugged for reasons I still don't understand. So it was a lot of that. So I would come out angry and sweating, and it wasn't a good vibe. It was just not fun. But now it's been fun. And now when stuff goes wrong, it's little stuff. It's people falling into the set, or the duck missing its mark and hitting a light and then hitting Travis in the face and almost breaking his beautiful face open. God. Yeah, that was weird. Little stuff like that. We had 2 people, I wish, God, during the last show we did with Painting Lar, we had these 2 ladies walk out, and I wish there are new rules in place for what to do now if people start to walk out. And the reason why, I think I said it towards the end of the show when we were talking about buying dildos, I was like, oh, those ladies are probably leaving to go buy some dildos or something. And I was joking, and the only reason why I didn't start laying into them is because there was a birthday party. The girl, Michaela, who was on the show, it was her birthday, so she had like 30 of her friends and family in the audience. So I assumed, which made up most of the audience, so I assumed that those people were with her. So when they got up and left, I thought, oh, maybe they're just going out to the car or whatever. But they did not know anybody, and the whole show, they were like bitching and complaining, and like my mom heard it, and Shelly and a few other people just heard them complaining. And I'm like, guys, next time tell me so I can start fucking roasting these people. That would have been so much fun. To have people that are having a miserable time watching a bald bearded man get painted by 2 ladies call her up. So that would have been so much fun. That show would have turned into something. I think I would have got punched in the face. So anyways, have you ever listened to Joe Rogan for tips on being better on podcasts or any other podcasts? I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast sometimes. I'll listen to Bill Burr's, not really for tips on how to be better, but just to kind of, I don't know, I just like to be entertained. So I try not to dissect everything. What's the average age of your crew? I guess 26 or 27. Lars in his 30s, I think. Travis is late 20s. Brandon's late 20s. Sven, I have no freaking clue. I think he just turned 18. Guy who voices Greenie, 30s. Pinky, I think she's in her 50s. Don't quote me on that. So I don't know if that would help with the average age, but we're all pretty young. It's funny, pretty much the crew that we have now, they're the only people that, when I was interviewing people, that just didn't give a shit about their resume. Because I would post shit like, this is to voice an animatronic puppet, and people would come in, hi, I've acted on stages. I was classically trained in New York, and I toured through Chicago and Los Angeles. And I'm like, okay, could you voice a puppet? And he's like, a few people were just like, yes, but what is the character development gonna look like of a puppet? And I'm like, well, they haven't really worked ever, and now they're gonna be working, so they can pretty much sound however you want. And he's like, okay, well, what's the motivation of the puppets? And I'm like, they're fucking puppets. I don't know. He was a legitimate actor, I guess, but he was getting way too into it. And the reason why I picked the people who voiced Pinky and Greeny is because when they both came in separately, they said hi to the puppets and shook their hands. Because the puppets were sitting next to me in chairs. I was at a chair and there's a puppet on each side of me because I just wanted to make it awkward. So they were the only people. They came in separate. And if you look at them, like on paper, these are two of the most opposite people that have ever been on this earth. They get along, but just seeing them separately and then interact, I was like, there's no way in hell this is going to work, because they're both funny, but they're both just two extremes in just everything. So I was like, this may not work. So then we did our first test run and I was like, this is amazing. So that all worked. So don't judge a book by its cover. So do the puppets ever get annoying? They do, but we've talked about it. So now we have different things in place to fix that. What episode is the magician in? The sad magician was episode 2. I don't know if that's on YouTube. It's probably on Facebook. The good magician was like episode 6. And not that he was bad. He was just so bland. Like he came in and was like, can I bring my trunk of magic? And I was like, hell yes. Hell yes you can. So that he comes, and he was just like very monotone and not really energetic, but he was really nice. I know, Teresa, he was old and he was nice, but I was trying very hard to like, because I knew what was going to happen. In the script, I was going to do like a very old classic magic trick to mess with him and then also mess with the audience. And then when he performed, it just was not what I was expecting. And I don't know, but he was nice. And while that was going on, you had, I almost said the dude's name, you had the freaking dude, you know, running around with the camera dropping iPads and crap. So there was all that going on. Do I still visit New York? No, the last time I was in New York was, I think I was in New York on a layover. No, was that Jersey? That was Jersey. I have not been to New York in years, which is fine. I think it was before I moved to California. Yeah. I think that's it. Whose idea was the puppets, and do they have free reign to improvise whenever they want? They do, but there are certain, we're now moving into, I guess, how do I explain it? We're now moving into certain things where they can improvise, but there are certain moments where they cannot. Especially when we start having sponsors. I don't want people improvising with sponsor stuff, because that could just go terribly wrong to crazy. It would just be crazy. Why don't you save all of the episodes on YouTube? I do. Just that one I didn't feel like editing. I was like, I'm not going to sit here and try and make that show good. What's the target audience for the show? Kid-friendly. It's not really raunchy, but some of the stuff is like too adult for TV, although most of it seems like it's just fun and light and genuinely not sexual and such. I would guess PG-13, so like 13 and older. That's what it's like. My future nieces and nephews have been there, and they range from 5 to 10? 5 to 10? But they don't know what the hell we're saying half the time anyway, especially the 5-year-old. Just, he doesn't pay attention. I try and have real talks with him about the Illuminati and how the government steals our money and calls it taxes, and he thinks I'm joking. He asks why God made me so funny, and I'm like, dude, this is real shit. That's going to be a segment on the show, is bring out a 5-year-old and me explaining real stuff to him, and you just watch him laugh at me like I'm a psychopath. Plan on going to Canada anytime in the future? Nah, well, Eventually with the show, I would like to travel with the show. But that's just kind of, that's in the future. That's like kind of way down the road. But we'll see. I think Zach asked the question. I just can't find it. Oh, have you changed your mind about having children? Yes, Zach. Glad you asked that. Wanted to bring that up in case anybody was in the same boat that I was in. So I'm religious. Yes, I'm Catholic. So, but anyways, yeah. My mind has changed about kids because it was kind of two reasons. One, I was not with anybody that was gonna be no. No, reproduction was not on my list. And the second thing was that I was never really around well-behaved kids. So kind of started when I was in California, and then especially when I met Teresa, was like, oh, duh, I would like to have a family with this person. And then being around her nieces and nephews that are well-behaved, great kids. I'm not just saying that because they're going to be family, but like they're cool and they're awesome. Except when they don't listen to me in my conspiracy. It's not conspiracy, it's facts, first of all. This is what I say to them. When they don't listen to me about things. Have you ever smoked cannabis? Nope. It's not my thing. Not gonna lie, the puppets can sometimes get annoying when they interrupt you. Yeah, and I don't blame you, especially when the sound's off, like balanced, and they're way too loud. That could be really annoying. But I'm gonna get a frickin' nosebleed. But like I said, we've been working on that. So, anyways, do I like hockey? Nope. Well, Justin says, I keep changing my mind about kids. I'm with the one I want to marry and still don't want him. Well, here's what I've seen. Kids are not for everybody. They're not. And if, depending on, I don't know if it was maybe because I was getting older too. Not older as in like not, or moving from early 20s into late 20s, I guess. I don't know if that was part of it. Probably was. But just reading these comments is amazing. But yeah, it's not for everybody. But if you don't want them, don't have them. If you want them, have them. I guess. What's the next one? Now, I remember you saying that... Oh my god. Sorry. Ah! Explosions. Okay. Let's move on. There was an explosion in my headphones. I remember you saying that you may end up integrating prank calls or just pranks into the shows. Is that where you want the show to go, or is that a response to your prankster fan base? No, I didn't say... I don't know if I said... I don't think I said prank calls. I may have said that as a joke. But pranks for sure. And it's not because... It's not a response to the viewership. It's because I just enjoy screwing with people. And there's now a platform where we can screw with people in a way that nobody has done yet, but also in like a fresh, fun, not boring, repetitive, stupid way. Because after a while, to me, doing prank calls was getting repetitive and boring and stupid. Even though the calls were freaking hilarious. Zach said, dude, I had an edible and I almost called an ambulance for myself. I didn't know where I was in my room. That's crazy. Did you make it yourself? Because that's impressive. That you, like, had a Snoop Dogg potency edible. That's amazing. What's up, Kyle? Oh, I should probably tune into the restream chat. Are we going to be singing all our J-Rad song in the future? You love rocking out to hard on the speed and listening text to Netflix before watching Netflix? Yeah, I have enough beats. I have enough sick beats, bro. And ideas. It's just getting them all together. I need to, like... Once the show starts getting going, and there's an actual budget for things, and, like, I can shoot content all the time, it'll just be easier for me to do stuff. Because right now, 40, I would say, Jesus, how long is that? How long is... I would say between 50 to 70 hours a week I work on crap. So once things get rolling, I'll be able to like delegate to have other people do things, which is always fun. And then have more time to do other stuff. Somebody was asking what kind of drugs I do. Oh, cannabis aside, what kind of drugs are you into? Coffee, cigarettes, alcohol, cough medicine, etc. No coffee. I don't do any caffeine. Cigarettes are disgusting to me. Alcohol, yes, but mostly like I'm past all of that vodka shot phase. I just drink like beer and champagne, not together because that's disgusting. And then what did I have? I had an old fashioned the other day. A friend of mine had Teresa and I over for dinner, and he made some steaks, and I guess he made me an old fashioned, and that was good. But I wasn't like, I'm not doing like Jaeger bombs and shit anymore. That was, those are weird days. If any of you are still in your shot phase, here's a nice little drink that almost killed me and my brother and his girlfriend at the time. It was called liquid cocaine. And it's supposed to be, the recipe is a third shot of Jaeger, a third shot of Bacardi 151, and then a third shot of Goldschlager, or whatever it's called. And I didn't, my brother misread the recipe because it said don't do more than 4, otherwise like you could die. So he misread the recipe as 1 shot of each. So we didn't do 4. I think we did 2 or 3 of 1 shot each, which is still way more than what you were supposed to do. And it was one of those drinks, as soon as you drink it and it hits your stomach, you feel it. And I don't think I've ever blacked out. I don't think so. But you know when you spin? I was on my back on my bed, spinning clockwise and counterclockwise at the same time. So I was just holding the sides of my bed, screaming. And then I went to use the bathroom, and my brother fell asleep in the shower. He was clothed, but he just fell asleep in the shower and the water was on. And then his girlfriend at the time fell asleep by the door. So I opened the door, and the door slammed into her head, and I looked through the mirror and saw her laying on the floor. So I assumed I killed her, so that I went and woke my parents up screaming that I killed her. And my parents were like, I assume maybe they knew I was drinking because they didn't seem that concerned. So they checked and they're like, no, you didn't kill her. Go to bed. And then I went to bed. Charlie says that she has videos of me from those days. Yes, there are some rare videos. Not rare videos. Pretty much I have them and Charlie has them. I used to send videos of my adventures while extremely intoxicated. And I never left my house. Most days I didn't even leave my bed. So it was just... and one of the stories I was eating deodorant. So in one of the videos. Then I believe, I don't know if she has it, but I know I have it. There's a video where I'm rambling. And then my mom tells me to shut up and go to bed. And I start losing my shit. Saying that, like, it was pretty much comparing. I don't even want to get into it because I worded funny, but if I try to describe it, it's going to sound very offensive, especially if you're religious. So I'll just try and find the video. And then she also has a video of me crawling, trying to find my bed for like 20 minutes. And then when I found my bed, I started crying tears of joy. So I don't do that anymore. Just, I just kind of have some beers. Have some champagne. Champagne's cool. And then that's it. Those are my quote-unquote party days. Then whatever the hell what was going on in that when I moved to California, that story. Did you ever do Friday Night Cranks hungover or drunk? No, Zach. I think the only thing, I took a shot of Jaeger before one of the shows, and it was the Bobby prank call. And I just never did it again, just because there were other parts of the show that I didn't like. And I don't think it had anything to do with me doing a shot before the show, but it could have. And then, but no, I would usually drink after the shows on Friday. So no, I would never do the shows hungover or drunk. Same thing with Late Night Web Show. I don't drink before the shows or like the day before the show. And even now I don't drink after. Usually. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a pretty boring guy. It's pretty boring. I don't really do anything. You saw an addict story on TV of somebody who eats countless amounts of deodorant every day. Good for him. I respect that. Did I leave the oven on? No. Anyways, guys, this was fun. So I'm going to wrap this up. It was fun catching up, kind of chilling. Last question. What kind of franchises are you passionate about? Movies, video games, books, TV? In terms of franchises, I don't know. TV, I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The Office. What am I watching now? Watching The Prophet. It's a new one for me that I'm getting into. Literally anything Gordon Ramsay does, I will watch and love with all my heart. Movies. I saw Tag recently. That was amazing. Blockers or Cock Blockers was an amazing movie. I have Movie Pass. We're not going to get into that now. I have Movie Pass, so I could see a movie every day for $10 a month, allegedly. Books. I don't really read fiction, just a lot of nonfiction. I'm supposed to be reading some book about how to, like, manage your time better, because I suck at that. And, yeah. Can I check the Twitter DMs later? No. I could check my Twitter DMs right now, and I'll read it out loud. So hopefully you didn't send me any penises, because then I will describe your penis in detail to everybody. Yes. You said, hey, thanks for following me. As you know, I'm working on a video talking about the history of Friday Night Cranks, but I've been doing some research, and I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions so I could everything as accurate as it can be. I'd also like to ask you some questions about Late Night Web Show, since it will be end with a Where Are They Now segment that can help. That would be appreciated. Thanks. Sure. Sure. Yeah, just DM me whatever you want me to ask, or whatever you want to ask me, and I will answer. Because that's how that works. God. I'm such a mess. Alright. Anyways. I'm gonna get rolling, guys. I'm not even gonna edit this. I'm just gonna put this straight to SoundCloud. So let's start doing this every week. If you weren't watching live, I apologize. If you're on SoundCloud, check out Late Night Web Show. I'm now at Late Night Web on Twitter. Then on Instagram, at Late Night Web. Then we're going to go from there. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you Friday. Going to be live Friday. So if you liked this, then yeah. Oh, Zach. Hold on. Before we go. Zach said he's never gotten quote-unquote drunk. His 21st birthday's in 8 days, so he'll give an update on in 8 days. Zach, do some liquid cocaine. You got to try it. Everybody's doing it. I'm going to kill this poor kid. All right. But Zach, yes, give me an update, please. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you Friday, Late Night Web Show, 8 o'clock on Friday. It's going to be a great, great, great show. And I'm rambling, so I'll see you. Bye.